it is way too easy to influence me. Like, I realized all you need are really two things. One, you need a somewhat convincing argument. And two, you need a person who can deliver this argument. And you may think that this is pretty obvious, of course you need a convincing argument, but I think it's a problem. And I'll tell you why later. I just want to tell you a quick story about my life. How easy it is to influence me. When I was younger, I watched a lot of YouTube, and I watched those people debunking flat earthers. And I was kind of curious, so I clicked on those videos of the actual flat earthers, and I watched their videos. And I kid you not, it took me about like 3 to 5 videos to be second guessing. I was second guessing if the earth is round or flat. All it took was this charismatic speaker who was very convinced of himself and his arguments, and those arguments that were somewhat convincing. They showed some graphs of the earth turning and it all not adding up. And I'm not the only one who is susceptible to this. I saw a video of this girl from Stranger Things. I think she actually thought that the earth was really flat.
Anyway, guys, there are so many facts that it's flat. I mean, think about it. Like, okay, guys, you don't even know.
This just shows how influenceable people are. But now here's my problem with all of this. Rhetorics always outweigh facts. The people who can speak are always more successful than the people who are more educated. Let me give you an example. Let's take another flat earth example. It's playing in the 1500s. So there's this one guy who tries to debunk the church for saying that the earth is flat. And there's the other guy. He's from the church. He's a preacher and he tries to convince other people that the earth is flat. So this one guy, he spends his entire life evaluating the cycles of the sun and the curvature of the earth. And the guy from the church, all he's doing is preaching in front of people and upping his talking skills. So finally it comes to a showdown. And this one guy who studied all his life, he wants to convince the public. But there's the guy from the church, and he's way better at speaking. And it's so easy for him to convince the public that this guy, with all his mathematics and evaluations, he's just a geek. So this guy who tried to debunk the church gets exiled because the other guy was better at speaking. And there are two things that you can learn from this story. One thing is how important speaking actually is. The ability to speak and to convince others. And the second moral is that you don't have to have an opinion on everything. Because most opinions you have are based on something someone once said. And those people who said those things are probably just good at speaking. You don't know if those people are actually educated, actually know their facts, or are just good at convincing you. So don't voice your opinion on everything, because most of your opinions are just fragile. And most of my opinions are as well. My opinions are so fragile that if they're just challenged a little bit, they crumble. And with that, I wish you a very pleasant life. Goodbye.